racing to the massive roar of the crowd, sending her forward, putting her right on the speed. Epic finish to the Everest. What a daring ride. Bella Nipotina wins the Everest. A thriller there at the end.
With Tim Gilbert and Julie Snook, this is Racing Dreams, the Everest.
Hello and welcome to Racing Dreams. We are live trackside Royal Randwick. It is absolutely sparkling, Julie Snook, and how good's this? We haven't seen a build-up like it.
I know. Good morning to you, Timmy. Good morning to you at home. Here we are, the 9th running of the Everest. And like you said, what a build-up it's been. I don't remember a race like this where we've had so much hype, so much talk. I saw Wayne Hawkes earlier in the week say it's the race that you talk about for 48 weeks of the year. It's pretty remarkable. And at the end of the day, they're all vying for that title and a really nice trophy that we've got with us on set here today as well. So a huge day of racing ahead here at Royal Randwick, and stunning day.
Oh, absolutely. It's beautiful. A little bit cooler, which is nice, actually. It's actually, you can pop your jacket on and enjoy it, but it's blue sky and ready to go. The track's sensational. I've been in contact with the mighty Zach Purton, of course, the man of the moment this morning. He's in good shape, and that's where the anticipation is as we welcome from the Daily Telegraph, Shenandoah, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever seen a build-up like it?
No, I haven't. I thought the first one was big by virtue of the fact that it was the first one. We didn't know what it was, but this is something special, and it's all because of the man you just spoke to, Zach Purton, and his horse, Ying Rising, because what the people are going to see here today, and that's 50,000 of them, sold-out crowd, is the best sprinter in the world, bar none. And look, if he wins today, he might be the best horse in the world. I know it's a big statement, but he's certainly the fastest horse on the planet over this distance, and the Aussie horses, they're going to know they're in a horse race today.
We saw him step out for that trial, and there was so much conversation following the back of that. What do you make of him? Is there cause for concern? We saw him get uncomfortable in the yards beforehand. He wasn't happy. He was all worked up before he got out to the gates. Is there cause for concern?
From David Hayes' point of view, that's the only little chink in the horse's armour potentially, that he could get stirred up before the race. As we said, there's going to be 50,000 people here. He'll be paraded out the back with the other horses, but it only for 10 or 12 minutes, and then he'll make his way through under the tunnel and out onto the track. So if he gets to the barrier in good shape and he hasn't melted down, and it is quite a nice day today, it's not warm at all like it was yesterday, I think he'll be okay. David Hayes said he's taken all precautions with the strappers and so forth to make sure that the horse is comfortable. So that being the case, should be okay.
We're going to have a comprehensive look at the barrier draw in just a tick. What did you think? David Hayes was quite happy with barrier 7. Who are the winners and losers from the barrier draw in the eyes of Shenandoah?
Well, I thought Ying Rising was the big winner. I mean, 7, that's the sort of position he likes to be in, maybe just 3 off the fence early and then gradually cruise across. He's got a very high cruising speed, and then the pressure goes on. He can sustain a really fast speed for the rest of the 1,000 metres in the race. So I know why David Hayes is happy. Briasa, on the other hand, it drew barrier 10. It's the sort of horse that you could have imagined winning if he was in the top 3 because he's so tough. Yet we think Bella Nipotina drew the outside barrier last year, sat 3 wide and won. Briasa's a very tough horse. Overpass is drawn 9, but he's so fast he'll go quick. Mazu's drawn 2. He's even faster than Overpass, so he's going to go really fast. So my point is, this is going to be potentially the fastest Everest ever run. Certainly in the first 800, they're just going to go like the clappers out there. There'll be just no prisoners taken.
That was going to be my next question. Do we think, given the conditions today, given the track, given the field that we have this year, that a course record could be at play?
Well, I think so. I mean, the course record is 107.2. That was yes, about 4 years ago on a good surface like today is. Today's a brilliant track. Don't worry about that. There's a little bit of wind around, which is good. If it turns behind the horses later in the day, it'll just blow them home. Ying Rising's run 107 3 times. He's broken his own record in Sha-Tin twice. I mean, he's the horse in the race that could run the course record. Now, that being the case, whatever beats him is probably going to have to run a course record to win.
I'm going to go Ying Rising, War Machine and Lady Shenandoah for my trifecta. That's the way that I'm leaning at the moment, but I'm not going to go anywhere away from William Haggis for the King William, or the King Charles rather. I'm getting ahead of myself. The King Charles today. He's phenomenal here, isn't he?
He is amazing. William Haggis is a much-loved character too. He's a very nice man, very warm Englishman, comes down to Australia every year, always good time for the media, and the public love him. The bookies hate him because he just cleans them up every single time. He's brought a horse down here having its first start today. It's been backed off the map to win. He's booked James McDonald for it. But in the King Charles, as you mentioned, he's got Lake Forest, who he just happened to win the Golden Eagle with last year, a $10 million race. So he's an incredibly hard, canny trainer, a typical canny Englishman, but a lovely man, and budgies horses can run.
Oh, yeah.
Any other day, this King Charles Field would be all we're talking about.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's from the most famous...
Well, take us through it.
Well, we've got the most famous start in Australian racing, the Randwick Mile, just over the back here. We've got Fangirl, probably the most popular horse in Sydney, no doubt about that. We've got Pride of Jenny, who's the reigning Australian Horse of the Year. And then we've got Mr. Brightside, who's Victoria's most popular horse. So it's a real state of origin feel about it. You wouldn't know who's going to win. Of course, I didn't mention Chaelwolf. He won the race last year. So these are the best milers we have in Australia, probably in the Southern Hemisphere. So, don't ask for a tip because I just would not know in that race.
There's lots of subplots throughout the course of the day today. One of the things I really like are the Hayes boys against their dad, and they're all personalities. They're all got great characters.
Oh, absolutely. And Ying Rising started out very early in life when he was called Mr. Express. He was actually in Victoria with the Hayes boys, and they rang their dad and said, look, this horse might suit Hong Kong. Well, they were right, because he's only been beaten twice over there by nose both times. So I think they'd love to see Ying Rising win, maybe not at the expense of War Machine, but only one of them can win. Look, they might run the Quinella, but of course the Hayes boys have got Mr. Brightside in the big one. So it could be a massive day for a real racing dynasty, that have stretched back to C.S. Hayes back 50 and 60 years at the very top of Australian racing.
I did love that one of the boys mentioned that inheritance could be on the line depending on what happens this afternoon.
Their personalities, they really are.
And let's not forget as well, the richest race for country trained horses, the Kosciuszko.
Well, the Kosciuszko, great name, isn't it? It is the country racing equivalent of the Everest. And as somebody who works at the Telegraph and often talks to country trainers, this is what they talk about for 52 weeks of the year.
Gives them their chance to be on Broadway, doesn't it?
Definitely. We've got some really good horses too. They're not just country battler horses or country battler trainers. They are top echelon horses, and it is a very difficult race. They were selected by slot holders. I mean, they didn't have to pay $600. They paid $5 for their ticket, and they all searched around. We've got horses from Maruya, Murwillumbah, Goulburn, Dubbo, Inverell. They've come from a long way, and they've all got here to Randwick in great shape on a beautiful day, and it's another really hard race.
Okay, pens, pencils, paper are ready. Some people might even punch it in their phone. What are some tips today? What can you do for our viewers today?
Well, first of all, as a racing purist, I'd like to see Ying Rising win, and I'd like to see him break the course record, and I think the 50,000 people here, all Australians, they'll be cheering for him as well, because this will change what is already a fantastic race.
But $1.30 is going to be
$1.30, I'm not going to tip $1.80, Timmy's drifting. I'll give you a tip. Harlem Heat in race 7, Harlem Heat in race 7, right down the bottom. She's $16, very hard to beat in the Silver Eagle.
Okay, Harlem Heat.
And
Write
front
that one
page
down.
in the Cosy.
Okay.
Front page for the three-peat.
Good to see you.
Cass, lovely to see you.
Have a great day.
Well, as we know, some of the magic of this race, this Everest, is the lead-up. It is a huge week of events for all the connections, the trainers, the slot holders. It's a really, really fun, very tiring week as well.
You were on the boat. You were the Julie McCoy on that ship.
I was very comfortable on a mega yacht this week as we went out on Sydney Harbour for this year's 2025 Tab Everest Barrier Draw. Everest week has arrived yet again.
Absolutely, and what a great night for the barrier draw. It's always a controversial situation with the barrier draw since the Opera House. We've made it a little bit less controversial this year. We were the first ones to bring the drone show 2 or 3 years ago, and we've come back to the drone show because it was so impressive, and this year will even be bigger than the first one.
Well, speaking of impressive, the fact that this race is going to be broadcast across the world, you must be thrilled.
Look, it's the biggest potential audience we've ever had. It's going to go to over 600 million subscribers on DAZN. It's also going to go on Fox 1 in the United States. So it could have more eyeballs of any race ever in Australia.
You must be thrilled. A sellout, an incredible field, and a turnout like this, it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Look, who would have thought 9 years ago that we'd sell Randwick out 2 weeks before the event? We used to finish at the Epsom. Now we've got one of the great events in the world.
I love the Everest because, for the most part, they're Australian horses. I love the fact that a Hong Kong horse in the race this year, but they're horses, they're household names. It's a race that people that aren't in racing know these horses, and to me, that's wonderful. I'm so proud to breed top Australian horses, and I love a race that showcases the best Australian horses, and the Everest is exactly what it is.
And what about your horse? We know what he's capable of. You and the team, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, Overpass is a good, hard-knocking horse. Great to be part of it. He deserves his spot. great to be in partnership with the Ram Racing boys. They've got their cowboy hats. They're coming tonight, actually. They're going to be on fire. But no, it's just great to be part of it, and we're excited for Saturday.
Well, welcome back to Australia, and haven't you caused a little bit of fuss?
Yes, well, it's just lucky to have the highest rated horse in the world, and they don't come to Australia very often, so hopefully he lives up to expectations and runs to his best form.
This race, the build-up has changed ever so slightly since you left and you were last here. What do you make of the build-up so far?
Oh, look, it was an emerging race when I was here last, and it's arrived now. It's a proper race, and you know, it's the best of the Australian sprinters, which are the best in the world, so it won't be an easy task.
How is your horse? Of course, Ying Rising. He's had all eyes on him ever since he landed here in Sydney, but how is he heading into Saturday?
Look, he's been getting a few mixed reports, but I think he's in great form. He's done everything right since he's been here. He's right down to his winning weight now, so we won't be calling for any excuses.
There's been a lot of chat about this international Ying Rising, but what do you reckon? Is it a one-horse race?
I've always said it's not a one-horse race. It never is. I think it's great that he's here. We've been lucky enough to travel a horse to Hong Kong, and I know what the feeling's like, especially when it's their champion at the moment. So it's going to be nothing short of sensational, this race, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What about the fact it's a sellout crowd? It was sold out 2 weeks before the event. You know, before those gates open, that crowd is going to be singing from the top of their lungs. How is that feeling? What does it feel like to you in the lead-up?
Oh, look, it's nerves. It's I suppose relief is the biggest thing, but there's nothing short. The crowd's there. It's a massive event, and it's just growing and growing and growing. And I'll tell you, Uncle Peter's done a marvellous job, and it continues to grow.
This horse of yours, Briasa, it holds a little bit of a spot in your heart, doesn't it?
He does. Every time that name is mentioned, it gives him a bit of a smile, a bit of a glint in my eye. He's just done us proud from the get-go, and to be here tonight in a race like this, and to think 12 months ago he come from a Newcastle hunter, and here we are, and he's just got so much more to give. So yeah, he does. He's a special horse, and he's a special horse for everybody.
It's such an amazing event to be a part of, and I think back to year one, and we're thinking, how do we get involved in this amazing event? And to think that we're here year 9, this is going to be our 6th time in the race, which is quite amazing to think. And it's been a race that's been very good to us. It's the hottest ticket in town, and we've always got people coming to buy shares with us, and they want to get involved in horse racing and on the ownership side. And they often say, and it might be in jest, but they're keen to win the Everest. And, you know, in years gone by, they obviously would have said the dream's a Melbourne Cup, and I'm sure it still is a lot of the time, but the Everest is now in that conversation.
And what is the feedback on Marzu from the stables? What does Joe reckon?
He's really pleased with him. He's got him in a good spot. He's a happy horse, healthy horse. He's loving his racing at the moment, and he'll put in a big show.
It'll come as no surprise that I was very comfortable on that yacht.
Oh, well, I mean...
thoroughly
look,
enjoyed myself.
Yeah, but you looked the part, Julie, and did an amazing job. You were like Julie McCoy. You're probably too young to remember that. Some will remember the Love Boat.
I am familiar with the Love Boat.
Okay, sorry.
Not that familiar, but anyway, I digress.
We don't, yeah.
Now it's time to bring in someone who knows so much about this field. He's been talking about it non-stop for weeks on end. Racing analyst from Sky Racing, Brad Gray. Lovely to see you back here.
Thank you for having me, guys. Excited to be back. So, yeah, you spoke to the fact that the show's called Racing Dreams, and that's all I've been doing about this race because I've spoken about it ad nauseum for the past week. So you lay there in the bed and you've got these horses' names just circling around in your mind. So we'll see how we go as far as finding the winner. Yeah,
well, let's get to the Everest shortly. There's lots of good racing today. Where's your best bet?
Best bet for me comes up in race 1.
Okay.
So
let's start the day strong.
Sometimes that's a bit of jeopardy, isn't it? So you're either straight in and you're confident, or maybe you're chasing from the get-go. But Schnitzel Dancer for me, guys. A filly trained by Joe Ryan Sterling Alexico. This is a race that they have targeted in the past. They've won 2 of the past 3 editions. I like the depth of her form. You go back to what she did on debut at Canterbury. She beat a couple of subsequent winners and then was good against the older mares there last start. So I do think she's ready for 1,400 metres, and timing-wise, I think she's the one they all have to beat.
In terms of this track today too, how's it looking?
Pretty good, yeah, pretty dry track. So we only copped 1.5 mils of rain overnight. That leaves us in a pretty good position as far as them running fast time. So that might be a little bit hard for these backmarkers to make up a stack of ground. So I expect some pretty fast times to be run today, maybe even a couple of track records. We'll see how we go.
You know, I like a little bit of value.
Yeah, so couple for me. Race 3, Dukas. You rewind 12 months ago, he won this very race, the Big Dance or Wild Card. I think his runs back are a little bit better than they currently read on paper. He's had no luck. First up, he missed the start. Second up, he was sandwiched out in Queensland again. So timing-wise, I think he's ready. We're getting double-figure odds. Regan Bayliss, you've got Michael Friedman, who's an outstanding trainer. So Swift Falcon is favourite there, but we know he's got his convictions. He's burnt the punters a few times in the past. And going across to the last, now that Sergeant Major has made the field, he needed a minor miracle just to get here, given he was third emergency, but now he's in. I think he's ready to win 1,400 metres, Randwick, and he was a third-up winner last preparation with that same lead-in. So I'd be very surprised if he doesn't peak up today.
All right, let's have a look at this Everest. First of all, a lot of chat about Ying Rising. What do you think? Should we be worried with what we saw at that trial?
I think we should be worried in the context of his price. So stop me if I start getting too nerdy here.
Please
in terms of analysing this race. But if you ask me the question, who is the most likely to win the race, I will say it's Ying Rising, no doubt, because off ratings, off what he's done in Hong Kong, he is the best sprinter in the world. No argument there. If you ask me what is the best bet in the race, I don't think it is Ying Rising, because when I'm taking such a short quote as a punter, I want to know every little in and out of a horse. Now, this is a sprinter that's racing for the first time out of Hong Kong. He could have trialled a touch better. The noises from the camp are saying that nothing's wrong, but this is a completely different pool of horses. It's a different racetrack. It's a different environment. It's a different atmosphere. So there's a lot of things that need to fall into place for him to run to his best. So with that in mind, I do think he's a little risk. That said, from a pure narrative perspective and for the good of this race, I think it'd do wonders to see him win.
Okay, so having said that about Ying Rising, which way are you going to go?
Yeah, so long story short, he can win, but I'm not going to back him at $1.80. So for me, I like Joliestar. I think she's the bomb-proof option. So Chris Waller, James McDonald, luckless in this race 12 months ago. Loved how explosive she was there first up in the shorts. And as far as the preparation goes, I think it's ideal. Here she is second up, 4 weeks between runs, and there should be a bit of speed on paper for her to rattle home right over the top. And we know her biggest asset is her closing speed, and she gets the chance to showcase that today.
Says a lot to have J-Mac on board as well for this ride, given he had a few options.
It certainly does. Yeah, Chris Wall obviously well represented in the field, and James would have thrown a leg over most of these. So the fact that he's given that vote of confidence to Joliestar is another tick for her.
Could be a huge day for Zach Purton. He's on William Haggis's horse and the King Charles as well, the Golden Eagle winner from last year.
Yeah, so King Charles, I'm actually with Lake Forest here, so I'm hoping Zach does have a big day. He's an interesting horse, isn't he? So we haven't seen him in Australia since that Golden Eagle, and through that Golden Eagle, we've had 8 subsequent Group 1 winners. So your Lazats, your Ascoli Pacinos, Joliestar actually came through it. War Machine ran in it, and what has he done since? And he finds himself in an Everest as well. So he hasn't won since then, but he's had a few bad luck stories to tell on the way, including last start over in the UK. So with Pride of Jenny doing her thing out in front, he should get a truly run race and he gets his chance. And I'd note this morning, he's been heavily backed, so there's a bit of market confidence there as well for Lake Forest.
And, of course, the Kosciuszko. Can Matty Dale do it again?
He can. Why not? I don't know why this horse is such a big price now. $2.80, and now you're shopping at about $5. So we saw with Ying Rising throughout the week, all the fake news. I'm like, what have I missed here with front page? Is there something circulating that I've missed? Because I think he's an enormous price for a horse of his quality. I know he's not getting any younger. None of us are. He's a 9-year-old, but he's so good first up. He loves dry tracks, and he takes bad luck out of the equation. So you've only got to go back to March just to find a spot where he ran second in a Galaxy. I don't think any of these horses today, with due respect, are capable of doing that.
Let's have a look at this graphic so people can take a snapshot of it or write quickly, because I like some of what you're saying, and I might just follow you in, particularly with the first race of the day. That'd be nice to get off to a good start with Schnitzel Dancer. And there it is, Brad Gray's tips for Randwick.
Kosciuszko front page. You've gone race 5, number 1, the Everest, Joliestar, race 7, number 9, the King Charles, Lake Forest, race 9, number 4. They are your big picks for today. If we turn the page, I think we've got a little bit of best bet, best value there as well. The best bet comes in race 1, Schnitzel Dancer. Best value, race 3, Dukas. and more value, race 10, Sergeant Major.
That's a lot of tips, isn't it? So you're giving me a few cracks at finding one. If I can't get one there, I might not be invited back for next time.
You'll be invited back. All care, no responsibility, and good to see you, Brad Gray.
Plenty of care, plenty of responsibility.
Okay,
Thanks.
Racing Dreams. How good is it? We are here. We've got plenty more to come, including a check on the track with Michael Wood. See you soon. Great to have your company on Racing Dreams. We are live from Royal Randwick. Jules has gone off to go to base camp. Of course, base camp is brand new and a new activation here at Royal Randwick for the Everest, and it's going to be on board for the next few weeks, and we'll tell you all about it shortly. But someone who's been a very, very busy man, he is the manager of racecourses here at the Australian Turf Club. Michael Wood, how are you?
Tim, how are you, mate?
Very good. Any better, I'd be twins, Mick. Now, tell me about the track. What I'm looking at here looks spectacular.
Yeah, to be fair, I couldn't be much happier either. All of our programs have come to fruition, and we did have a bit of storm activity yesterday afternoon that I guess we were keeping a very close eye on, but thankfully those cells came through pretty quick and just dropped that 1.5 millimetres of rainfall on us, and that saved us doing any irrigation at all. So yeah, all came together perfectly, really.
Yeah, it swirled around a bit yesterday. I was in the eastern suburbs doing some work, and I was obviously keeping a keen eye on what was happening weather-wise. It threatened to really come down, didn't it? But it just sort of missed us.
Yeah, to be fair, if we were probably 5 or 10 k's south or even north, we would have got a lot more. But for once, it was on our side and missed the majority. But you know, the turf coverage that we have out here at the moment, the track's really come on in the last over the last fortnight since Epsom Day. I really couldn't be much happier. The feedback from the gallop this morning that we had was that the track was just perfect. So that was Dylan Gibbons who will ride today, and I did tell him that I was going to quote him.
Okay, well, I like the sound of that. What about the forecast? I can see a little bit of wispy cloud, but it's blue sky. It's significantly cooler than it's been the last few days.
Yeah, it is. Top of 22 degrees today. We might get a little bit of cloud cover throughout the day, but all in all, mostly fine. So a bit of a wind coming in from the east as the day progresses, which may get up to somewhere around those 30k gusts, but that will give them a bit of assistance as they come down the side of the track and out of that 1200 metre chute for the Everest, and then just be across them here in the straight. So it's not a normal wind, but it's not a wind that has a major effect on races generally. So we've moved the rail out to the 3 metre position from the true there on Epsom Day, and as I said before, there's not a mark on the track, so every horse should get their chance today.
We're watching your guys in situ doing what they do best. Tell us a little bit about the team. Tell us a little bit about what goes into a day like today, because it is your grand final.
Yeah, look, the team is everything, led by Dave Anderson, who's our new racecourse manager here at Royal Randwick, and Jake Carlaw, his assistant. They lead a big team to do what they do, but they put in enormous effort this week. There's not a blade of grass that isn't cut. Massive kudos to them for the way that the track presents. But it isn't just about the track's team, it's about the Australian Turf Club in general, and every department, when we have our carnival meetings, you can just see the amount of effort they put in towards getting a day like today to happen. And when 50,000 people get here and Randwick's on show, I think they're able to sit back and be just as proud of their efforts as we are of the track.
What time will your day finish?
Look, probably about 6:30. I think I was up at about 3:15 this morning to get in for the track walk, and but yeah, about 6:30. I think I'll hopefully shut it down, and then we'll have a think about next week.
Yeah, well, you won't need any rocking to go to sleep. Michael, congratulations to you and the whole team on preparing an absolutely beautiful racetrack for the richest race on turf, and so much anticipation with this race and Ying Rising. We cannot wait for it. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Tim. Have a great day, mate.
Now, as I mentioned, this Hong Kong sprinting sensation will start from barrier 7. Can one of our Australian contenders beat Ying Rising? Could it be War Machine, of course, the sons of David Hayes? That would be an interesting story. Brad Gray, fairly bullish about Joliestar. I caught up with Ray Thomas, of course, the chief writer for the Daily Telegraph when it comes to horse racing, to get his thoughts on the richest race on turf. Well, it does not get any better than this. We are on Sydney Harbour to talk about the Everest. Ray Thomas, how are you?
Terrific, and you've got a great location here, Tim, and considering we're going to have 50,000 plus at Randwick on Saturday, what a day for Sydney racing and indeed Australian racing.
What does it take to win an Everest?
Very fast horse, obviously, but it requires a horse who's trained to the minute, who's well ridden. And in these big races, there's so little margin for error, Tim. You need luck in running. I know we've got the world's best sprinter here in Ying Rising, but he's got to bring his Hong Kong form to Sydney. That's not going to be easy. And you've got some of the best sprinters in Australian racing absolutely primed for Saturday. So the horse that gets the luck in running, given there's so little between them, will be the horse to beat.
All right, well, let's go through your top 6 and Ying Rising up the top.
It's an easy trek to base camp. Now to climb Everest. Ying Rising is 5 in front of Lucky With You and Helios Express. He's being eased down. Bring on the world next month. He's ready to take you on.
If he brings his A game, and all the indications are from the Hayes stable that he will, he's definitely the horse to beat. He's the world's #1 ranked sprinter. His ratings are through the roof. He breaks 1 minute 8 for fun, Tim, in Hong Kong. I know Sha Tin's and Royal Randwick are completely different racetracks, but if he can bring that sustained speed to the Everest, he's definitely the one to beat.
Joliestar, it's not all over yet, he's coming, but Briasa moved up, takes the lead at the 100. Joliestar's running into second, Briasa in front though's got the margin, and Briasa, cherry ripe for the Everest, and Briasa fended off Joliestar to win it. Bang on for the Everest now.
The new Grey Flash, Tim, wasn't he great in the Premier Stakes? And here's a horse who, don't forget, won the TJ Smith Stakes in autumn, beating most of the Everest field bar Ying Rising. He sort of goes under the radar a little, doesn't he, Briasa? And maybe because Team Hawks are quietly going about their business, but he's definitely right in this race because he races on speed, he makes his own luck, he's as tough as they come and he's in great form.
It's Briasa and Joliestar fighting it out. Joliestar goes to Briasa. Oh, she's covered so much ground. She's different class, Joliestar. Won the shorts by a length and a quarter.
No, she's an outstanding mare, trained by Chris Waller, who wins these big races for fun at times. She's had the right prep. She's got the gap between runs, which she needs, about just over a month. She races best fresh, and she's dynamic at Randwick.
But Lady Shenandoah moves up at the 150. Lady of Camelot Brave. Lady Shenandoah from Lady of Camelot Firestorm. And Lady Shenandoah won the Group 1 Kilmore. Only narrowly Firestorm a cracking second.
She's the X factor for me in this race, Tim, because on that valley run you can't have her, but look closely at that performance and it was outstanding. I spoke to Glenn Boss about it and he said he's never seen a horse on the wrong leg for an entire race and still finish off as well as she did. Her first up run was enormous in over 1,000 metres at Randwick. She's an outstanding mare, trained specifically for the Everest. I'm not ruling her out.
Briasa a length and a half clear from Sunshine in Paris. Joliestar late. It's Briasa in front. Joliestar levels up. Jimmy takes the shot and won the all-age stakes.
He's another outstanding horse. Kieran Maher, again, was repeating myself, but he can get these horses right for the big day. His Premier Stakes run, his sectionals were simply through the roof. He was closing fast on Briasa. Where he gets in the run is the key. He tends to get back in the field. These horses are so quick, he'll need to run almost a world record to give them 4 or 5 lengths start and beat them. If he can settle front half, watch out.
Thundering up the centre of the track and going to a clear lead. Down below the 200 metres, War Machine leads. Private Eye is trying hard. It's War Machine in front, short of 100 to go. He's the leader. Flashing over the outside is Yellow Brick. War Machine gripping on. War Machine gives Hayes their first strap rope.
He comes through the Stradbroke, which he won in June at Eagle Farm. The Stradbroke's become a great pathway for the Everest in recent years. Think About It won the double. Bella Nipotina ran second in the Stradbroke, won the Everest. His win in the Gilgai was excellent. He's a dark horse.
I'm going to get you to refine it. We're going to shine the crystal ball. What's the trifecta?
I think Ying Rising from Briasa and Lady Shenandoah.
It'll be an extraordinary day, won't it? Everest is amazing.
I can't wait for it. The whole race day is outstanding. The Everest has gone to a new level this year with Ying Rising's presence, the whirlpool, the extraordinary global interest, particularly out of Hong Kong in this horse. This is a must-watch horse race.
Bring it on.
Welcome back. You are watching Racing Dreams. We're coming to you live from Royal Randwick today ahead of the running of the 2025 Tab Everest. What a day it is going to be here at Royal Randwick. A record crowd, and have a look at this screen behind me. This is in the new Base Camp precinct. So if you're fortunate enough to be here in Base Camp today, this is a screen you'll be able to look at. All your betting, all your racing, it will be played live here all throughout the day. And this is the new Base Camp precinct as well. It's looking absolutely spectacular, as is the Chair of Racing New South Wales, Saran Cook. Lovely to see you and happy Everest Day.
Thank you so much, Julie. Lovely to be here for Everest Day. Happy Everest Day to you too.
You must be so thrilled with how this has come up, because this is a new precinct. It is literally, the finishing touches are still being made here today. We've got sponsors here. It is just an incredible way. We are so close to the track to seeing this race play out.
That's absolutely right, Julie. And, you know, if you think about all of the really great sporting entertainment events around the country, think Live Golf, think the Australian Open Tennis, think the Formula One, they all have a fantastic facility that they can put corporates and people in to really get the best out of the race, and we were lacking that here in Sydney. So Base Camp is all about that. It's all about creating a 5-star experience right next to the track. It has a premium view of the Randwick Straight, and we're really confident it's just going to keep growing. Sydney-siders will want to come, and we'll get more and more interstate visitors here to Sydney.
I actually love being down here because you are so close. When they come past, you are so close. On that point, we had the business lunch here at Royal Randwick yesterday, and you touched on that. The tourism that this race has now produced for not only Sydney but for Australia. Ying Rising really helping bring those international eyes here to the harbour city.
Absolutely. This year is a record, actually. We've got a partnership in place with Fox Sports 1 and DAZN, and they are broadcasting to a potential audience of over 500 million people around the globe in 200 countries today. That's a first for the Everest, of course, but also for Australian racing. In addition, you mentioned Ying Rising. There's a big contingent here from Hong Kong. They're really cheering on their local favourite. And we also, of course, in the King Charles later in the day, have a UK runner. So it's probably the biggest global audience we're expecting here today.
Well, speaking of audience, and I feel very old saying this, but we have so many records here today. We've got a sellout crowd, sold out 2 weeks ahead of time, but also the youngest Sydney racing crowd in history. More than 60% of ticket sales have gone to those under 26. I feel very old.
I'm joining you there, Julie. It's true. 60% of the tickets sold today are to those under 26. It's phenomenal. The Everest was largely marketed to that younger generation. We need them. They're the future of our sport. And they have absolutely lapped it up. It's the hottest ticket in Sydney, if not New South Wales. So we're really excited that they are coming, that they're enjoying the entire day of racing, that they love the event after. And you know, we know from our work with the ATC that they are repeat customers. They're coming back and back and back. So I think safe to say that racing is really set up for the future. It's the youngest crowd, I suspect, in racing globally.
And I know you've got some young children that love their racing too. I tell you what, they must be happy that Mum knows a few people these days.
Indeed, mine do all fit into into that category of being under 26, and they all desperately love the Everest. There's a couple of them arriving here today. 2 are very, very disappointed that they've got other things on and can't make it. But yes, absolutely, and their friends are coming. They're actually, as you know, my children grew up in regional New South Wales. That's where I'm based, and they're having a bit of a school reunion, a couple of them, and so it's just fantastic. There's 10% of the audience here are from regional New South Wales. It's fantastic.
I love that. We love to fly the regional flag, and of course the Kosciuszko, that's a race that's also flying the regional flag, and something that has just done wonders for country trainers, country connections, country horses, and the class that we are seeing in these fields is second to none.
Absolutely. The Kosciuszko is an incredible race. It has a particular appeal, a real personality of its own. We've got the sweepstakes that really engage a lot of people, like with a chance of having an ownership stake in the race. But also it's specifically for country trained horses. So you'll see a lot of people here today from right around the state coming to this aspirational race, and it'll be a day that they'll never forget in their lives. There'll be huge celebrations, and it really is a race that the whole state gets behind.
It's amazing. I remember when this concept was first being mulled over and being talked about, a decade ago, and here we are now. You're seeing these activations, you're seeing these record crowds, these record eyes that are on the event. It's pretty extraordinary, the growth. This is the 9th running in less than 10 years.
It really is. It was not that long ago when it started, and we were spending a lot of time explaining what the concept of a slot race is, explaining what this new race is about. Now, we have sold this thing out twice, 2 years running. And not just yesterday, we sold it out 2 weeks ago. We were just starting to ramp up our marketing campaign, and we had to put the sold out sign out the front gates. It's really incredible. So Peter and the team are constantly looking ways to grow it and to make sure that we can meet the demand that is growing and growing year on year. But yeah, it is nothing short of phenomenal. It's a homegrown event for Sydney, New South Wales and Australia that we all should be very proud of.
Absolutely. And speaking of the crowds, I'm going to brave them shortly. I don't know what's come over me, but we're going to go out because they are lining up. They have been outside for hours to get in here today to get that front row ticket. What do you think this Everest? We have been talking about it. As I said in the show, Wayne Hawkes was saying about 48 weeks of the year we talk about this Everest now. Who are you liking?
Look, I'm not really in the business of picking winners, Julie. I have to play it pretty fair. Look, it's a great lineup. It's a fantastic lineup of horses. There's so much talk about the Hong Kong visitor. Who knows? There's a lot of good competition. From my perspective, where I sit, I'm really just happy that we've got a sold out crowd. It's a beautiful day. We've got a great team of stewards who will make sure this is a fair and fast race. Equally, I think everyone should be looking out for the King Charles later in the day. That we've never seen a lineup in a race that distance around for a long time. It's quite incredible. So I think everyone's in for a really top day of racing, and of course a great day of entertainment more broadly.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone at the ATC too, because and Racing New South Wales, the work that goes into these days is just phenomenal. The finishing touches are being made to the track here. So Rand, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming and having a chat to us this morning. Congrats to you and the team. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Racing Dreams. We're coming to you live from Royal Randwick as they prepare for the opening ahead of the 2025 Tab Everest. We'll see you out there in just a minute. Welcome back to Racing Dreams, guys. We are live here at Royal Randwick for the 2025 Tab Everest. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little out of breath because I've just been running from base camp all the way here to where we find Angela Bell McSweeney, who is the global ambassador of base camp. Lovely to see you, Angela. We are live on air this morning. I'm running a little behind schedule. Happy Everest Day.
Thank you. What an exciting day, and the young people are streaming in.
It's absolutely phenomenal. Tell us about the crowds outside.
Just the excitement, the euphoria at this time in the morning. It's fantastic. It's actually a worldwide extraordinary experience. When I'm overseas and I'm talking about the Everest to people and the extraordinary prize money, a carnival of $87 million, people just can't believe it.
Tell us what the feedback has been while you've been overseas. You've done a lot of travelling this year. Your beautiful fashions has taken you all over the world, but your love of racing has also taken you all over the world. Can people believe how drastically this race has grown in the last decade?
Well, it all goes down to the brilliance of Peter V'landys. I mean, he's a visionary, and we have to ensure that this great sport of racing continues on. So with the young people embracing it the way they have, we're ensuring that. And as far as the fashion, well, it's so wonderful. Racing and fashion have always gone hand in hand. And I did go to Royal Ascot, to Newmarket, to Glorious Goodwood, and even to the Irish Derby, where I actually won the fashions on the field, which was a great surprise.
There you go. And here I have turned up a humid, hot mess to meet you in time to talk to you about the fashions. But what I love about fashions is it's back this year, and we're focusing a little more on the traditional element when it comes to the race day attire for the ladies and gents. And of course, a touch of blue for Everest Day?
Yeah, have to have that touch of blue for Everest Day, but I must congratulate the ATC team because racing and fashion, well, they do go hand in hand, and we've got a bounty of wonderful prizes. So on each of the race days, we're bringing in the boys. The best suited was drawn for the boys and the best dressed for the ladies. So the finals will be next week with 10 finalists, and I think included in the prizes a $5,000 Nick Chironi voucher. So it's well worth donning your finest feathers and coming out to Royal Randwick to join in the fun and the excitement.
Anything that Nick Chironi touches turns to gold and has that beautiful little bit of sparkle, and I'd be very, very happy if I could take it home. What is your advice if people are still sitting at home and just starting to get ready or putting on the finishing touches? You're running very late, by the way, if that is the case. But what is your advice to the ladies and the gents before they head out here?
Well, I always start with one element. So for this outfit, my inspiration was the bag because it was blue. And then I was quite clever. I got Embellish Atelier, Catherine Kelly. Yes, I got her to change the bows from pink, because they were pink for the pink luncheon, to blue for today. So you can put it together. I only did this very late yesterday, so you can put it together last minute.
Catherine loves it when people like us turn up here. And speaking of gents, Timmy's here as well. And this is how the gents should, a touch of blue for the gents as well.
Some people say that I'm fading away to Royal Randwick, but it's lovely with the blue tie because it actually does cover up any of your lack of fitness. But look, it's a sparkling day, Angela. Such a delight to see you, my dear friend. And just the magic of this race. It's not even 10 years. Next year we celebrate a decade, but 50,000. And one of the really good points about today is the demographic. We're getting a lot of young people to come through. How cool is that?
Well, they've just adopted it as their race, and that's what I was saying about Peter V'landys, you know, what he's done with all these exciting races, the King Charles III Stakes, the Golden Eagle. It's keeping our racing alive, and overseas it's extraordinary, the reaction. And Ying Rising, what more can we ask for?
More than 60% of tickets sold today are those under 26 years of age. I'm not going to comment on any of our ages standing here today right now. We're going to go for a walk. Lovely to see you, Angela. You're looking stunning as always.
Great day, Angela.
Timmy, what's happening out here? The crowds are starting to stream.
Oh, I know. Well, let's go and have a little bit of a wander. Glenn, we'll go this way. Yeah, we'll go this way. Thank you, Angela. Have a lovely day, Angela Bell McSweeney. And look, there's nothing quite like a sports event. There's nothing quite like an international sports event. Ying Rising, Julie, you can go first. Ying Rising being here, this Hong Kong superstar. I was in Hong Kong earlier in the year. We did 2 episodes of Racing Dreams Hong Kong, and it has offered, Jules, hasn't it, offered this certain sense of wonder, magic, expectation.
I don't think there's been a race like it. We've said it throughout the year, Timmy, and our cameraman's doing very well here, that there hasn't been a build-up to an Everest quite like this in the last 9 runnings of it. Ying bringing a lot of eyes. Of course, this year's race going to be broadcast to more than 560 million eyes across the globe. What we've seen here this morning is thousands of the 50,000 lining up around the block as they're preparing to walk into the track for what is a huge, huge day.
Absolutely. Hey guys, come over here, boys, let's go. Look, see, this is part of the young generation. How much are you looking forward to the Everest?
Oh, I'm so excited, it's going to be awesome.
Is this your first time here?
At the Everest, yeah.
What about you?
First time.
Who wins?
Joliestar, all the way.
Oh, they're on the Brad Gray train. Have a good day, boys, looking sartorially elegant. Oh, he's gone Ying Rising, a little bit of Joliestar. And let's catch these 2 boys. Yeah, come over, boys. Come over. Julie.
Hi, boys. How are we? Nice to see you under the 26 demographic here. What brings you to the Everest?
Oh, everything. The horses, the jockeys, the drinks. J-Mac. J-Mac, Tommy Berry, everyone. Quite nice. It's a good day. Got to be out here.
So tell us, who wins the Everest?
Oh, who went? War Machine. Yeah. War Machine wins the Everest.
You don't want to say Ying Rising, but I'm with James here and going War Machine too.
War Machine's got it, I reckon, in the bag.
You lads have a good day. Behave.
Thank you
Put your hat on. It's very warm and sunny out here. Does this make you feel old? Makes me feel a bit old.
I know. What makes me feel old is when I almost do my ACL when I get out of bed in the morning. That's what makes me feel old. But look, it is a different demographic, and that is part of what we want racing to be. We want people of all ages, but particularly the young to come, because we have established racing fans. Let's go over this way, Glenn. We'll make sure that Glenn's our camera. We'll make sure that Glenn doesn't fall over, because we actually might even walk straight over here. I wonder if he's got his trumpet with him. All the colour, you can see the crowd out there. See the crowds lining the streets. There's just a sea of humanity all the way along Allison Road and the other entrances here. So, Julie, it gets to your tip. Who's going to win the Everest?
Oh, look, for the storyline, I'd love to say Ying Rising, because what a show that would put on here for the 50,000 Sydney-siders that have turned out. But I'm with Briasa.
Okay, well, Julie's with Briasa from the wide gate. I have to go Ying Rising to win, but I do like War Machine and Lady Shenandoah. That's my trifecta. But the problem is that when you get a guy like Brad Gray comes on, he tells you how good Joliestar is.
I know, it's hard, and Brad knows he's racing. Thank you so much to all our guests on the show today, and of course thank you to Racing New South Wales, our great sponsors here. If you are preparing to come out to Royal Randwick, get in that car, get down here now. You are in for a very big day. Happy racing, Timmy.
Absolutely. See you soon on Racing Dreams. We'll be back next week, and have a wonderful Everest day. Enjoy every minute of it, because we will. See you next week.
See ya.